Hello class, welcome to part 2 of the Excel DSS project. If you haven't done so already, please download and open up the indices and commodities spreadsheet. When you're done with that, we continue on with our project by looking at the spreadsheet we started in the last section. So far we should have 6 columns. The first 3 are the date, the closing price, and volume of the company that you were given. In my case, I'm using Google. And then 3 competitor closing prices. When you open up your indices and commodities spreadsheet, you should see something like this. In this first column, you have the date. Column B is interest rate. Column C and D are your CSI, your Consumer Sentiment Index, both the current and the expected numbers. And then from E to, I believe it's W, yes, W, you have the prices of each individual commodity listed across the top here. Keep in mind 2 things. I put a lot of work and effort into this. The first thing is that these dates in this spreadsheet line up with the dates in this spreadsheet. And I had to do that so that when we run the regression analysis, you won't get any errors. With that, things like interest rate, you can get a daily figure fairly easily. Even on holidays, you can get the daily figure. Whereas CSI, as you can see, these numbers here are exactly the same for the entire month, and that's because the CSI figures are a monthly figure. They're not a daily figure. So I had to go through every month for the past few years and update each of those cells. And then finally, stuff like commodities. Oil you could pretty much get every day. Same thing with gold and maybe even silver. But when you look at stuff like wheat and corn and sugar and orange juice, those prices are not necessarily provided on a daily basis. They may not trade on a daily basis. They may have seasons where, weeks will go by without trading any corn or without trading any sugar. Furthermore, the dates, they may only trade 3 days a week as opposed to 5 days a week like equities do. So I had to go into a Bloomberg terminal and grab the daily prices for each of these commodities and then line them up with the proper date and fill in any holes that I found with data so that you have a clean spreadsheet here with every cell filled for every single row and every single column that's needed. So, with that, take the interest rate column, column B. I want you to copy that and paste it into column G of your spreadsheet. And then I want you to take both the CSI current and CSI expected, copy and paste those into H and I. And then finally, I want you to take out of these commodities from E to W, I want you to select 5 commodities, with at least 2 of them somewhat germane to the company that you're working with. When in doubt, always use crude oil. So I'm going to use crude oil no matter what, because I feel like even though Google works with software, crude oil always seems to be in the hearts and minds of everybody. Google is a company that investors look towards to kind of keep money. It's a good company. It's stable. It slowly increases in price. So we're going to use gold because Google can act as good as gold as an investment, a secure and safe investment. I'm going to use coffee because programmers drink a lot of coffee. What do I have? I have 3. Let's do 2 more. Let's do a total of 5. I'm going to use copper because copper is used in computing, and so is zinc. Alright, so we're going to use these commodities. You are more than welcome to use any 5 of these commodities, from crude oil all the way to rubber. Again, when in doubt, use crude oil, and if you're still clueless, use gold. Otherwise, if you are, let's say you have some sort of a food company or a beverage or soft drink company, you may want to stick with the coffees, the corns, the sugars, the juices. Um, Gas is great, or I'm sorry, oil is great because of when it comes to shipping. You also have natural gas here in case you need to heat and warm plants or factories or stores or what have you. Um, if it's in mining, if your company is mining, any of these metals here would be perfect. Restaurant businesses, you may want to look at beef and pork bellies. So you really have the freedom to do what you want to do. Just pick 5 altogether and try to at least make 2 of them somewhat germane to what we're looking at, the company that we're looking at. So in the end, you should have a spreadsheet with columns A through N filled in. And if you want to do a quick test, just scroll all the way down. And if you did your start date and end date correctly, everything will line up. You would have no stragglers, and everything is good to go. Hit save and prepare yourself for part 3, where we'll start our regression analysis.